whisper of hope in the morning.
Watch Whisper
They'll
Hope
whisper
Ministries every
of
Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
noon.
on Access Channel
They'll
21.
whisper
Join the war
of
for the hearts
hope in
and
the
mind.
evening.
Hello. Thank you for visiting Whisper and Hope Ministries again. We are going to talk about the love thing today. You know, we're all about love. Excuse me. Love in an interaction and the glue that keeps everything going together.
A whisper of hope in the morning.
Watch Whisper
They'll
Hope
whisper
Ministries every
of
Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
noon.
on Access Channel
They'll
21.
whisper
Join the war
of
for the hearts
hope in
and
the
mind.
evening.
Hello. Welcome to Whisper and Hope Ministries again. Thank you for tuning in. And for those who stop by every time, I thank you. And those who stop by periodically, I thank you. And those of you who just happen to be here, hang around. Our message today is about love. Everybody talks about love today, and that's the glue that holds everything together. When you say love, and that word love is one affection for one person to the other. Love is the key. But I got somebody I want you to think very well about Valentine's Day. You see, Valentine's Day to me sometimes is a joke. Let me tell you the joke first before you get mad. If we didn't have these merchants reminding us of Valentine's Day, telling us that on this particular day, you're supposed to be getting your loved one something, you're supposed to be showing them that you care. And they had to paint a picture of a Cupid with an arrow on some of this stuff to give you some kind of sense of direction. Why they had to do that? Because you weren't doing it before Valentine's Day. Guess what? The merchants have been up in this thing, telling you about this thing, and then they have to almost twist your arm to get into it. Why? You rise to the occasion finally. You run to the store and get some cards. You get some flowers. You get some kind of gift. And you wind up taking them out to dinner, hopefully. And then, nothing. You see, this princess on Valentine's Day, at the stroke of midnight, this sucker turns back into a pumpkin. And you go back to your old ways. Half-talking, non-committal, not showing any affection, not doing anything to show anybody that you love and care for them. Now, the store, as far as I'm concerned, need to have the after Valentine's program where they bring you back in there and say, look here, you're supposed to be a little nicer than that after. You're supposed to tape off if you're going back. You just don't stop cold turkey. That's like a drug addict, you know, all of a sudden, zip, nothing. And you wonder, what happened now? And so you're trying to tell me the stores need to keep doing this? Well, if they could figure out a way to put a profit in, they would do just that, because some of us need it so bad. Now, I want you to think that you was a good actor on Valentine's Day. You could act very well. You knew how to talk. You knew how to present this present because they showed you on television how to do it. You know what I mean? And you had the right words, how I love you, and here's a little token of my appreciation here and everything. And I'm going to take you out to Chez for dinner, breakfast, or whatever, and we're going to talk with each other. Now, ain't nothing to say to each other because you ain't been talking to each other in years. But just sit up there and look at each other across the table. At least you're in the right atmosphere. Okay. Then the woman the next day, thinking, as she puts her apron on to go through cleaning up or whatever, getting ready to go to work or whatever she's doing, you know, Lord, what happened here? This prince I married has turned into a frog. How can I get out of this? I mean, if you can see yourself during the long periods of time you figure you got to put up with this, and don't see a hint of change, that after Valentine's Day you thought he would catch a hint, you know what I mean? Just a slight hint. His disposition is atrocious, mannerisms are lousy, and they croak at you saying some very ugly things. This prince I thought I had is really a frog. Uh-oh. Now we know the problem with this. So now if he don't step up to the plate and start doing some of the husbandly, fatherly, loverly things that he's supposed to be doing, in her mind and the family's mind, this is a displaced rascal. And sometimes I don't much care whether he come home or not. Not really. Because even when he there, he ain't there. Watching TV or whatever, you know, and calling the boys or whatever. But there's no interest and no emotional tie here from one human being to the other. And you ought to be like somebody say, you know, in sort of a mental prison here. That we need to think about this. So I got to wait on another Valentine's Day for this rascal to go in his act again? What's up with that? Okay. But now what happened to the man that she thought she hooked up with? What happens when the dream dies? That is my subtitle to Valentine's Day. What happened when the dream dies? What happens when the dream does not come to fruition? What happens when everything in your mind that you thought would be is not? What happens? What happened? And you're tired of asking your friends that question because they don't have any answers either. So now you turn into the Lord. Lord, how can I get out of this? I mean, this is terrible. You say, Brother William, you're painting such a gloomy picture of people being together. I'm not. But sometimes somebody can tell you the truth. We got a 50% divorce rate, and we're talking about among Christians. Hello. I would think it rough if we was talking about people who are not Christians or somebody on the street or somebody didn't believe in that vow that you took. You see? And so there you lied to the Lord. You just didn't lie to her. You lied to the Lord. So that's what's wrong with this half of this picture. And this rascal sitting over there looking at television, looking at all the pretty women on television and what that promises with all the makeup and the hair and everything, and they look good every time you cut that television on. And they ain't saying nothing ugly because their roles teach them how to say things, you know, baby, I love you. Ooh, let me draw some bath water. Let me rub your back. Come on in, would you like to take a shower or something together? Oh, it looks so good. Only problem with that, they cut that TV off and they come off that set, they go home and they got the same problems you have. They ain't dressed up like that, and they ain't nothing like that. When they make come and they sitting looking at them like you looking at them. Say, what happened? So you on TV, you don't look like that. You know what I mean? So in other words, this princess that you thought you hooked up with, that you would have 24/7 affection, has turned into an affection unless Jerry Springer witch. Uh-oh. With nothing nice to say out their mouth. Always putting you down and you ain't done this, and when you know I need another car. You know, that thing over there just ragging. My goodness, can I not get in the door? I done brought all these problems home, they done beat me up in the street. I was hoping for a tiny bit of consolation here, where you at least let me say how my day been or something before you just jump on me. I'm going to just cut on the TV and chill out and go back into my imaginary world here, what I could be if I was in that television screen playing the hero. I turn on one of them football games and reminisce that I could have been one of them players, you know what I mean? Because this real world I got here is beating me up. I can't mentally stay in it day in and day out. So I got a break from my problems out there and in here. So into this world, the calendar says February what, 14th? See, I'm not married, so I forget the date. Point I'm making is that you have the significant others, the wife, the girlfriends, and whatever, you must remember that date, and at the last minute, you know, find yourself standing in the store at 12 o'clock at night, like I found myself in there one time. Oh, I'm telling myself. But find yourself standing in the store at 12 o'clock at night. That's not go home without something. Come on now. But it's the role playing that gets us in trouble. We rather seem than to be. And without having the fatherly image in the house of this man, this woman thought would be this nurturing father to stand tall, protecting them in right and wrong, and it's a mental thing. You can be doing all of them other things, but how they feel like you're doing, because you're not standing as a mental picture, you're not standing up tall, you're not the wise man of this family giving counsel and guidance and everything. You can't do that laying there watching TV into a bottle. You got to wake up and stay sober just a couple of times, you know. Give the woman a nurturing feeling she feels. Even though you're a man in the house, you must be father in the house. You must be husband in the house. You must be boyfriend in the house. Those are the roles a man plays, and then the woman feels that she is protected and she got a partner. Talking about love today. His father is out of the house, so is his voice, so is his protection, so is his guidance, so is his support, so is his touch. So is the experience of the interaction between a man and a woman to be an example of give and take of a committed partnership. And last but not least, the love and affection of a father to a daughter, the strength and support to the son, and most of all, mother has the security of just knowing through hell and high water, he got her back. Come on, folk. If you weren't raised in one of those homes that taught you that, we got to get rid of our friends sometime and go find some nurturing in somebody who knows that. Maybe you better sit under grandma's feet and let her tell you what a man's supposed to be. If you ain't got a grandfather, you got to sit under somebody's feet. Maybe you need to go to a counselor and make sure he ain't getting a divorce while he's talking to you. We're talking about a Christian counselor, a loving counselor, a God-fearing counselor, not go along, how can I get eyes and how can I keep my money?